Welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani Dawson. This is part 3 in a series with percussionist Brad Dutz, another local here in Los Angeles, really accomplished musician, prolific composer, and crazy bones player. So awesome. I had so much fun making this series with Brad. So in this session, we're going to be talking about, well, he's going to be talking about how to get a little more subtlety out of the instrument, different combinations of bones, and some more rhythms. He'll be doing some more playing examples. We're going to leave you more information about how you can connect with the bones resources. We've got more links over at patreon.com, so make sure you go there. We're going to have some extended playing and some behind-the-scenes video for patrons. So if you're watching this at Patreon, you're getting that version. If you're watching it free on YouTube, go to Patreon if you want more. Support the channel. Here's number 3 in the series.
Okay, so about the grip too, a really cool thing you can do with any bones is you'll find one's usually heavier very often, and this one's heavier, this one's lighter, but so it sounds this way. And then when I switch places, I put the heavier one on the outside. Now my sound is different. See, that's quite a bit different than this way, because the thin little one is doing the moving as opposed to the thick heavy one moving. And then you can change one bone, like say the outside one, and flip it over. So now this is also going to be different than that. It's subtle, but it's different. And then so let's take the outside thin one now and do it with the wide part down. Then if I put the thin part down, it's slightly different. And again, these bones are a little thick to thin, but then some other bones are the same width. So all the different makers make bones in different ways. These actually even have a cutout section, so it's a little easier to hold on to these. But they're thinner, so it's a different pitch. That's why we collect many different pairs. So sometimes if I have 2 ebony, it's one sound, but if I decide, okay, I'm going to add a rosewood and an ebony. Oh, okay, now I'm going to try an ebony and a metal. Or how about a bone and a slate? I mean, it's really cool. That's really totally different than everything we've heard so far. It's the actual bone hitting the rock. So, and now if I flip that, now we're going to have, instead of the slate coming up, now the bone's going to come up. So now the bone's moving. Now the slate is moving. Subtle, but it's different. You can really hear, for different recordings, it really makes a huge difference if you're with a flute or with your guitar or tuba. It doesn't really, it's absolutely different musical situations for different bonography. Okay, so these are metal now, heavy aluminum and rosewood. Another part about the grip is you can actually twist, especially this bone can change the sound by twisting the angle a little bit. For instance, it's this way, and if I twist it slightly, that really changes it because now I'm hitting really the harder edge. Right, so I can just move like this to get some pitch change. And that's another reason why some people prefer 2 fingers here or 1, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 fingers. Really, it really changes the pitch, the resonance of the, but also turning is different. And that'll happen a little bit more with a real bone than slate. This is a little bit harder to detect. Sideways. See, that's this little edge as opposed to that way. You get a little bit more attack when they're flatter. And then when the edge, you get a little softer sound. Another thing you can do too is change the dynamics by the bones higher up in your hand. Now less of the wood or the whatever is moving, so it's softer with this little tiny edge playing, as opposed to, you can hear that maybe more on, let's try these ebonies. So here's way at the end where that you can see I'm there, but if I slide them up. And another thing is I kind of have the outside bone a little bit lower. They're not exactly lined up, but it fits your hand shape more when they're slightly off as opposed to just like this, right? And that balances the playing technique more than this would, because now one's short and one's long, but this way they're kind of equal. A lot of details.
Yeah, we're so wrong. Okay.
Now a little faster tempo, we'll do a rosewood and a hollow metal combination. This is more of a reel. Then jig. The ending. You gotta have the endings.
You gotta have the crash ending.
The crash ending. We did rosewood and slate and metal. So now I'm just going to play 2 pairs of Steve Brown's bones because now both hands kind of have the same color. We'll start with a jig here. 2, 3, 4. Now a reel. You had to use gravity.
All right, amazing, super fun. I think you guys hopefully are feeling inspired to at least check out more bones in music, maybe get a pair and we're leaving you resources and information about how you can get your hands on some. Please support Brad's work at Bandcamp. He has a Bandcamp page. We'll leave the links below. Download some music. If you're in LA, Brad's doing some gigs around town. Now, we shot this during the COVID outbreak, but I know this is going to be over pretty soon by the time you're watching this into the future. But I want to thank you guys for being here. Thanks for supporting artists and music. It's super important that we support each other, especially during this time. So thanks again. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're here on YouTube. Patrons, we're going to leave you a few more resources down below. As always, I appreciate everybody who is a patron of the channel and a supporter of our mission to help spread good information and music to our global drumming community, to everybody around the world. Thanks, patrons, for making that happen. And enjoy listening to, studying, and playing the bones. I'm Kalani. I'll see you in a future lesson.